All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our webinar here today with Wasabi. We have a lot of awesome information here for you today. I'm very excited to have two awesome guys here with us. We've got Dean Archibald, and yes, I am bald. I had to throw that in there, right? You know, cheesy dad joke. My kids often say, "Dad." So you know how the drill goes. So,
Absolutely.
and we also have Chris Rushton here, and I am super excited to have Wasabi on as a new sponsor, a new partner of Everything MSP. We're very happy to have you guys here. And Dean, I want to what I'd like to do is just turn it over to you for a few seconds here. And so we could do an introduction of yourself and Chris and give us a little bit more detail and a little more background about you guys.
Yeah, Dan, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Dean Archibald. I run channel partnerships here in North America for Wasabi. In the month that we've been partnered with Everything MSP, I've really enjoyed the engagement on the Wednesday and Friday calls, and just observing and participating in a lot of the conversations on the Facebook group. But looking forward to meeting more of you, engaging with more of you. I have the pleasure of interacting with MSPs and traditional resellers and distribution partners all day, every week of every year. It's becoming clear that there's a strong interest and demand out there in the market for cloud-based object storage, and that's exactly what we do. But I'll pause there for now. Chris?
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Rushton. I'm a channel solution architect over here at Wasabi. I previously spent the past 10 years at a large software company and happy to move over to Wasabi. But I was mainly in the systems engineering and sales engineering role, and I'm looking forward to engaging with more MSP partners.
That's awesome. Welcome, both of you guys. Hey, I just took a look at in the Q&A, we have Anna Reardon saying, "Go Wasabi, love the Wasabi swag, Dan." And I want to thank you guys both for this swag here. I love wearing this. In fact, I was wearing this the other day, and my mom, she's 83, and she says, "Wow, that is hot." And I'm like, "Yeah, isn't it?" I said, "I just got it. I love it." And she's like, "No, that's hot." And I'm like, "Oh, Mom, that's the other Wasabi." So she got that a little bit mixed up, but she now knows what hot cloud storage is, and I'm sure she's telling all of her friends and family. And so lots of fun there, right?
Absolutely. You know, we're big into marketing and marketing with our MSPs here. If your mom's ever looking for, a side gig, let me know.
Yeah.
Give her my contact info.
Perfect. I will definitely let her know. So, so with that being said, I would like to just mention that we are, as you might have seen in when I went live a little bit earlier today with my partial face there. Actually, it was, I think I was cut off from the glasses up. We are going to be giving away from the swag store. Sorry, I was lost for words there. So, so two of our participants that are most interactive and engaged with us today, you'll have an opportunity to go to Wasabi's swag store and choose from a large number of swag that they have there. So that's awesome. And we will also, if you'd like to, Dean, if you want to share one other thing that that you have up your sleeve about some additional swag for someone else.
Yeah, we're going to make two additional things actually available to you guys. The first 5 MSPs that sign up with Wasabi after today's session will also get some free Wasabi swag, which is exciting. You can rock a similar sweatshirt to the one that Dan's got on. We've got cooler bags, we've got hats, all kinds of things on there. But we're also going to make free trial sandbox accounts available to everybody in the community. So if you'd like to kick the tires on Wasabi, we'll give you a free terabyte account to do whatever you want with. Try a backup into it, do an archive into it, store pictures of your kids or your pet animals. But you'll have access to a free sandbox account. We'll give you instructions later on in the presentation.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you guys for offering that up for our group. Appreciate it.
Happy to. Yeah.
So let's kick things off. Wasabi, is a little bit of a newer name, and And we ourselves as an MSP are a Wasabi partner and have been using Wasabi for a while now, and we're very happy with the product, the service, but especially just the people. And I mean, we all know that people still buy from people, and when we partner with a vendor, we want to partner with somebody that it's we don't want it to be a client vendor relationship. We want it to be a partnership. So when we can find a partner such as Wasabi, that's got a rock solid offering, but a great group of people that are here for us, that's exactly what we're looking for. And I really excited about what you guys have to offer. So let's kick things off, and let's kick off that slide deck, and let's start talking a bit more about hot cloud storage.
Absolutely. Let me just pull that up real quick. And Dan, thank you for your partnership. That means a lot to us. And yeah, one of the most exciting things as I'm pulling up the deck here, and one of the most important things to us is that we show up, right? We're not just a default storage bucket that you can aim your backups or your archives or your video surveillance to. Folks like myself and our large channel team, folks like Chris and our engineering team show up. We show up early in the evaluation process. We are kind of vetting us out and doing some testing. We show up when you got that first exciting deal. We're there to help you get that business across the goal line and then expand from a sales and engineering, a marketing standpoint. We'll cover some of that today, but I thought that was important. We'll talk a little bit about our value proposition. It's price, performance, protection, and there's a fourth P in there, and it's partnerships, and it's really critical to our business and how we approach things. Again, stick around for the full show today. There'll be an opportunity to win some swag. Everyone will get a free trial account if you choose. Engage, stop us, light up the chat here. We want this to be engaging. We want to learn from you. We hope you learn something from us. A little bit about Wasabi, just for starters here. Our two founders are the same two guys that created Carbonite back in the day. So as you might imagine, there's a strong familiarity and background and competency around cloud-based storage. We're privately held, extremely fast growing. We've raised a little under 300 million in our history to date. Our founders, our executive staff is very involved with the business, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've met any of them, or if you sign up, you'll maybe meet them in the future. But a little bit about our product. What do we do? We are a one-trick pony, but we feel like we do that trick better than anyone in the game, and that's cloud-based object storage. You look at some of our competitors, they're listed here. All of these folks have, 250, maybe even 300 different services that they offer to their customers. But reality is, you can't be the best at everything when you do 250 different things. So we focus on doing one thing only, and that's cloud-based object storage. We'll get in a little bit about what that looks like and how we go to market. We've got thousands and thousands of customers, and we've got a little under 9,000 active partnerships globally today. So we're a little bit of a startup, but we're actually pretty mature when you look under the hood a little bit. We've had a lot of success, and we continue to see that kind of growth.
Awesome. That's very impressive. I mean, those are some pretty solid numbers. And, I mean, like I said, when we're taking a look at, the partnerships, we're taking a look at also the maturity of the company. And, we want somebody that has that startup mentality, because there's that passion of driving new technologies and then continuing to improve it. So that's rock solid.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to the demand that's out in the marketplace today, but especially to the partner program and our focus on making our partners successful. That's kind of fueled that growth, and that's very much a part of our plan going forward, is placing partnerships and MSPs at the forefront of everything we do as a company. Little background on what we do and what our service is again, we're cloud-based object storage. If you've read about us or seen us anywhere out in the marketplace, you'll have seen that we are extremely cost effective, 80% less than AWS S3, which is really our most comparable competitor out there. So great price point, but it doesn't stop there from an economic standpoint. The fact that we do not charge for egress or API call fees means we are completely predictable. It's the same cost every month. How much storage did you consume? Multiply that by, $6 a terabyte, $5.99 a terabyte, and that's what you pay. There's no ancillary costs. There's no variable cost with it. We're talking about an invoice with a single line item. So that really bodes well with the market today, especially with customers that are doing a lot with their data. They don't have to worry about the risk of a massive 100 line item bill coming in the mail at the end of the month. If we don't win our customers over just on price alone, we certainly don't shy away from the conversation in terms of the performance of the service, the protection of the service. We're actually faster than the hyperscalers in a lot of benchmark tests that we've done. Extremely fast upload and download speeds, and a variety of transport, networking options that we make available to our customers and partners. And then lastly, a topic that's incredibly important, Dan, we were talking about this just yesterday, is the protection and security of our solution, of our product. Data center redundancy, 11 nines of data durability. I don't know exactly what that translates to, but it's thousands, one in every thousand and thousands and thousands of years we'll lose an object. It almost is impossible for us to lose an object because of the technology that we use. And then lastly, in the age of ransomware, malicious outsiders and insiders for that matter, we've got multiple immutability methods that our partners can take advantage of that turns any given object or any given bucket into a write once, read many, meaning it cannot be manipulated, it cannot be deleted. So for obvious reasons, that's really appealing if, should anyone get hit with ransomware.
That definitely is a huge thing right now. Security every single year continues to be a growing area of concern. Every single year we position this as this is the critical year because it gets worse and worse, with bad actors that are out there. So this is critical for us as MSPs and how we are out there and protecting our clients.
Couldn't agree more. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that later in the presentation, but again, feel free to light up the chat Q&A features if there's any questions.
Yeah, we've got a message here. Can we talk a little bit more about immutable options? Doug was wondering that. And in fact, Doug also mentioned that it appears that everyone on the panel has to have Wasabi branded clothing. Yes. And we love it. So Doug wanted to ask a little bit more, get a little bit more information about the immutable options.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, you want to touch on that briefly, or do you want to talk about that in a few slides? I'll touch on it briefly. Chris, you might be on mute.
I'm sorry, I'm on mute. Are we jumping to the tech slide next?
Let's do it. Well, you know what? First, we're going to do a quick poll, then we'll make sure we don't forget about that that question.
Yeah, we have our first poll here is, are you selling or providing storage for your customers today? And we have a quick yes or no question. Go through here and give a few moments for everybody to fill that out. We'll see what things look like there. And in fact, we have another question as well from Alan Miller. He's looking to learn more about the immutable storage as well. Managing that, I think, is a good reason to, as far as going through MSP 360 as well. And we're going to go ahead and end our poll here, and we'll share what our results look like. There we go. So 82% are yes. We have 18% are no there. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's encouraging. So a lot of people, live in our world. A lot of the attendees live in our world, have an appreciation for our mission. Hopefully you'll learn a thing or two, maybe about, lowering your costs, or just making another revenue stream there in your business, or another offer for your customers. That's great. If you don't offer it today, we're happy to go on that journey to help you explore more. Let's keep going. We still have that. There we go. We still have that question in the back of my ear here.
Yeah, I'll touch base on the two immutability options in a couple slides.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So again, in terms of price, probably the most prominent part of our value prop and the primary reason that a lot of our customers and MSPs seek us out is we are 80% less than the hyperscalers. So what does that mean? You know, $5.99 per terabyte per month. When you look at that against the competitive landscape, they come in anywhere between $25 to $25 per terabyte per month, plus charge those ancillary fees, API call fees, egress fees, which pile up, you know, quite quickly for these customers. If you look at the diagram on the right, the visual here on the right, this is with a customer who's storing 100 terabytes, I'm sorry, 1 petabyte with us, doing about 20% egress, 20% modest egress over the course of a year. Again, that egress does not impact our cost model whatsoever. The others it does. Ours is a flat, static, $73,000. You're just paying for the storage. The others, you know, again, they come in at a little bit more expensive than us, but where the cost really balloons is when you take into consideration the associated costs around egress and API call fees, especially with backups, especially if you're doing immutability. You know, a lot of these API call fees get calculated against the number of objects that are being stored. We're talking about millions, tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of objects that come into scope when calculating API call fees. So it's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, and you know, when we take a look at you know, I guess our overall stack, you know, for an MSP, we want to make sure that what we're putting in place, we aren't going to be shocked. I mean, nobody wants to be shocked and hit with the unknown, and having that fear of the unknown of you know, especially those egress fees and the API request. And you know, knowing that this is going to be more predictable from that perspective is a big win for MSPs, just because we want that predictability, much like our clients want predictability, right? So that's definitely a key area for us as MSPs.
Yeah, that's a very consistent message that we hear too. And you know, the advantage of being a little bit late to the game, you know, we launched our service 4 or 5 years ago. AWS launched theirs in 2006, I think it was, is that we were able to take into consideration the needs and wants from MSPs and our alliance partners at that when launching our service. So yeah, completely get it. And it's part of the fabric of our DNA. So there's 2 models that you can sell this incredibly cost-effective cloud storage, right? The traditional one is pay as you go. This is by the drink. We open up our API stack and actually have a management tool that we'll share with you a little bit later on that allows you to onboard and bill customers accordingly. You'll pay a single bill to Wasabi once a month in aggregate of all your customers' consumption. No egress fees, no API call fees. We make white labeling available through this. So you can charge at the $5.99 if you white label. Very easy for you to charge more than that, especially if you're wrapping some value-added services around that. Very, very popular with our MSP community. We also make another consumption model available for our partners, and that's called reserve capacity storage. This is done just like as if you were selling a laptop or a single license, perpetual or subscription license, and it's predetermined fixed amount of storage capacity with a predetermined term, 1, 3, or 5 years, sold on a SKU upfront. You get a PO from the customer. The customer activates their account. They have access to that storage for that duration of time. So very transactional model. If by chance you didn't want to manage the customer's environment, you just want to sell a chunk of storage to them, we make that possible too. A major differentiator when you look at the landscape of cloud storage vendors out there. Chris, you want to talk a little bit about the tech?
Yeah, absolutely. So Wasabi is custom built from the ground up for high performance object storage. We are co-located in data centers across the globe. When I say built from the ground up, right? We use all of our own hardware and we've written all of our own software to make this service work as fast as possible and thus pass on the cost savings down to our customers. With our custom storage algorithm, we're able to achieve about 99% of the platter usage on our hard drives. And because everything is built from the ground up, we also achieve higher performance and throughput. So we see about 3.5 times write speeds and 1.5 times read speeds across the objects, which is comparable and faster than some of the other hyperscalers today. And because we're using a highly distributed architecture of user servers, database servers, and storage servers, you can be guaranteed that the services stay up at all times. And we also offer full encryption end-to-end. So when you send your data to Wasabi, you're going to be doing it over an encrypted HTTPS connection to make sure your data is encrypted in transit. And then as soon as we receive that data is written and encrypted to disk. So some of the other object storage providers make it optional by default off to encrypt that data. You don't have the option here. It is always going to be encrypted by AES 256 encryption. So to cover some of the immutability options that we're asked about, right? We have two different ways we do immutability. We have the bucket lock, it's called, which is essentially a Wasabi proprietary locking mechanism. On your bucket, you say lock any object that comes in for X amount of time, whether that be days, months, years. And whenever you place a new object into Wasabi, that will be locked. So you can't modify it or delete it for a given amount of time. Once that locking has been disabled, you can go ahead and delete that object or move it around or change it, modify it. There's also the option to delete the object automatically after that time period has expired. The newer option that we support is the S3 object locking standard. And because we use the S3 API, we've implemented the S3 API object locking mechanism, which allows third-party applications to place data on Wasabi and tell Wasabi how long to lock the object for. So we have a lot of integrations with all of our partners, and the applications themselves, based upon your retention period and configured immutability value, will place the data onto Wasabi and then continually update that data as you place new backups onto Wasabi, making your restore point completely immutable until you need to remove that data or keep it on there for as long as you want. See some more questions coming in.
Yeah. Is it possible to automate the locking, unlocking, and removing of the files? I think you touched on at least part of that already.
Yeah, in theory, it's possible to automate it. You would do that through the S3 API. Most of the time, you're using an application that automatically locks those files and unlocks those files. But if you wanted to program up your own custom implementation, right, you can use the API, any of the S3 SDKs to place data onto Wasabi, have it locked for a certain amount of time and control that locking mechanism.
Thanks a lot. I think Doug's going to be rocking some Wasabi swag in the near future.
I think so.
Appreciate all the engagement.
I think so. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, please, everybody, just ask away. I mean, this is a great opportunity to just to put those questions out there and just jump in where you see fit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so from the protection standpoint, right, because of our custom storage implementation, we offer 11 nines of data durability with exabyte scale. This means that your data is stored and protected with 11 nines of data durability and 99.9% availability SLA within multiple data centers. So if you're copying your data from data center to data center, you have the 4 nines of availability. We also run automatic integrity checks across all of your data. When you upload your data, right, it's MD5 hashed to validate that you've put up the correct amount of data. And then we also do an integrity check every 90 days to make sure that that matches. And if it doesn't match for whatever reason, it is repaired and rebuilt without any knowledge that anything happened. And like I mentioned, everything is encrypted in transit and at rest. We have the immutability function. And we also have strong identity access and management. So we support multi-factor authentication, your standard TOT-based authentication, right? Does Google Authy, Microsoft Authenticator, the thing where you copy the barcode and you type in the number. We also have Sso integration. So if you're using Azure Active Directory, for example, we can integrate with that through SSO. And the SSO supports SAML 2.0 providers as well as OAuth 2.0 providers.
That's awesome. Very, very good stuff. Let's just double check, see if we have any other questions there. I think we've covered most of them. One question that Doug had that you had answered in the chat was regarding 24/7 support. And as you had mentioned there, you guys have premium support with very rapid response times. Follow the sun models to support located in the US. Is there anything more that you'd like to add to that aspect?
Outside of our support mechanism, again, we are very involved with our MSPs and our customers. So naturally, a lot of the questions that come up are security related. Are you, do you have this certification? Are you compliant with this, that, or the other? And we're very active in that. All that information is on our website, by the way, so feel free to check it out there. But we realize that everyone's scenario is a little bit unique in talking about security, talking about performance of any given application that's being used is a big part of the daily conversation that we have with our MSPs. And every MSP at Wasabi has a dedicated Wasabi account manager that's available to them at all times. So,
excellent. And Doug was wondering if 24/7 support is an extra cost or is that baked in?
It is an extra cost. However, it is baked into our reserve capacity storage offering, but we make it available to any customer, including the pay-as-you-go customers, and that's a 7% upcharge.
Okay, excellent. And Timothy has some thoughts in there. If you guys had a chance to read through that, see how we can answer Timothy's question there.
Yeah, we do have some integration with Macrium. I don't know if it's the Reflect product. I believe it's the Site Manager. So I'd be interested in working with you to see if that works.
Excellent. And what we can do, Tim, if you'd like, we can have a member of Wasabi reach back out to you on that and just let us know and we can do some follow-up for you.
Yeah, I'm just taking down your names so as a reminder. Cool. I see
Excellent.
Randy has a question about RCS. So RCS is the same $5.99 per terabyte, plus some of that premium support gets factored in. However, we make discounts available to all of our partners. There's a standard discount of 10% plus term and capacity discount. And what that means is depending on how much storage is associated with the transaction and whether it's 1, 3, or 5 years, we've got a scaling discount model that comes along with that. And it's anywhere between 14 to 37 percentage points of discount that get applied. Excellent.
And Victor Orley, also known as Frankie Orley, has added a question on the Facebook group because this is streaming live there as well. And he wants to know about Wasabi's HIPAA compliance. Or is Wasabi HIPAA compliant?
We are HIPAA compliant. Chris, you want to add any color to that? I know you often get involved with security related topics. Oh, Chris, are you with us?
Yeah, Dean, if you want to go back to that last page.
Yeah, let me do that. Cool.
Yep. So we have our compliances on here, right? We're HIPAA compliant, CGIS compliant, FERPA, GDPR, MPA compliant. And we also are PCI DSS, SOC 2 Type 2, and ISO 27001 compliant.
Excellent. And Doug wants to know if he buys a Wasabi hoodie, can he be on the panel for next time? Hey, we can make whatever happen, my friend.
Yeah, maybe a success story we can present on together. I love that idea.
That'd be awesome.
So this is a quick visual as to where we are located. We've got 6 regions, actually 7 now that this is about a couple of days outdated globally. Here in the US, starting from the West Coast, we're in Hillsboro, Oregon. We've got a data center in Plano, Texas. We've got 2 data centers in Northern Virginia. We've got a data center in Amsterdam and 2 in Japan. Next year, we've got a pretty aggressive plan to roll out anywhere between 5 to 10 new data centers globally. So you'll see our presence increase dramatically. Most of our customers, I think it's somewhere around like 80% of our customers come into Wasabi by way of the public internet, but we do make private direct connect available to them. You can see some of our transport partners here at the bottom ribbon of the slide. Equinix, Megaport, to name a couple, Internet 2. For customers and partners that have a need to quickly seed a big chunk of data into Wasabi, we have what we call the Wasabi Ball. It's a transfer appliance, very similar to the Snowball that Amazon has. So whether you've got limitations around bandwidth, or you just want to get that seeded amount of data into Wasabi in one smooth swoop, we'll send out this Wasabi Ball transfer appliance. You upload the data, send it back to us. We'll ingest it for you.
That's
Anything
awesome.
I missed there, Chris?
Is there a charge for that?
Yes, Wasabi Ball is $300 per month.
Okay, excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, and typically you want to get that Wasabi Ball loaded up with data and then send it back within that same month, so you don't have an incurring charge.
Yeah, perfect.
So it sounds like there's a fair amount of folks on the line that have some storage backgrounds. Maybe you're familiar with the S3 API protocol. We are bit by bit compatible with that same API stack, meaning quite simply, if you've got an application, whether it's a backup tool, an archiving tool, a CDN, video surveillance, VMS software that has S3 storage interoperability, it quite simply works with Wasabi. So we'll show you another slide in a few here, but we've done validation and interoperability testing with over 350 third-party applications, the backup players of the world, the archiving players of the world, on-prem hardware storage players that have an S3 gateway baked into it. We've done all the hard work of testing that out, documenting it. So it's quite literally plug and play with whatever S3 friendly application you have. Chances are we've done some testing on it. The Macrium, we probably got to look into a little bit more, that specific product, but our website, we've got a page dedicated to our alliances, our technology alliance partners, and it's all categorized there. And it's all documented. All that interoperability testing is documented there. So it's pretty turnkey for a lot of our MSPs. Chris, you want to talk about the API stack at all? Maybe just briefly?
Yeah, absolutely. So Wasabi uses the same API stack as AWS, meaning that any application that works with AWS S3 today should work with Wasabi. There are instances where the application itself doesn't allow you to interoperate with any other URLs. So there are some limitations, but for the most part, the applications generally work well with Wasabi today. So if anyone has Synologies or QNAPs or any other application custom built using AWS SDKs, Python, Golang, JavaScript, they all work and integrate with Wasabi, especially the NAS applications, right? So you type in the URL, you type in your username and password, and away you go.
Thank you, sir. Let's keep moving. How are we doing on time, by the way, Dan? We doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing good. I think let me just make sure that there's one other question here from Timothy. He's got a symmetric fiber gigabit internet connection, so assumed it'd be a fair test. But with the Wasabi Ball might be of interest for large data moves. Yeah, perfect.
That's exactly its primary purpose. So this is a slide I was referencing. We've got over 350 alliance partners pre-validated, pre-tested, pre-documented. It all lives on our alliances page and in our knowledge base, which is a great resource for MSPs, especially when you're doing your initial research and kicking the tires of Wasabi. It's a really robust knowledge base. You can learn a lot there. You'll see a landscape. We've got both distribution partners, VARs, and MSPs of all shapes, sizes, and competencies and focus areas. In terms of what we do with MSPs, we're part of the PAX8 platform, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. And we recently joined up with Climb's MSP marketplace, which we're excited about. That should launch about a month, I would say, a month to 2 months. We're in with everyone from the big dogs in the industry to the small little boutique partners. They all get the same level of account support, access to the same tools and resources, and get the same access to discounts in some of the programs and promos that we run. So everyone's fair game, and we like to be equitable with the partner ecosystem.
Very cool. That's a pretty solid partnership staff there. That's impressive. I mean, that doesn't happen overnight, and it takes I'm sure a lot of time, money, and sweat to make that happen.
Yeah, we're all about democratizing cloud storage for customers and partners alike. So we'll cover it in a couple of slides here. We make it incredibly simple to sign up with Wasabi. There's no cloud university. There's no pay to play. You don't need to deploy some, heavy, complex software to get going with us. For a lot of our MSPs, it's fill out a form, do a click-through agreement, use our Wasabi Account Control Manager, which we'll cover in the next slide, and you're provisioning accounts for your end users, and you've got a very scalable Wasabi practice, again, within hours or days. So we'll hopefully shed some light on that right now. We've got two methodologies really that we see MSPs leverage with us. One is directly using our API stack, allows for max customization, integration with your ERP and billing system, a lot of creative things that our MSPs do with that. On the downside, it requires a lot of development work. It takes a little bit of time, some longer than others, and it's just a little bit resource intensive. We realize that a lot of our MSPs just want to get going. They don't need advanced customization, and that's where the Wasabi Account Control Manager comes into play. This is an incredibly exciting and valuable tool platform that we make available to our MSPs. Chris, I don't know if there's anything that you want to cover on this particular slide. I know we've got two more that have a little bit more content on it, but you tell me where you want to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start here. So
Okay.
The top Wasabi management console is the console that everyone with a Wasabi account gets. And this is fine if you're a single user and you want to store your data inside your own buckets, but leveraging it for MSPs who are trying to resell accounts, you run into the problem of creating lots of users, then managing the policies for each individual user, then worrying about each application's requirements for listing the buckets. And you could get into a scenario where some applications require the ability to list all of the buckets in the account in order to work. And this really doesn't fly, because then you could potentially be giving out all of your customer names if you name them appropriately per customer. So we have something called the Wasabi Account Control Manager and the Wasabi Account Control API that solve that problem. And the API is the underlying API which you can leverage in order to create and add accounts which are separate from all of the other Wasabi accounts. So when you leverage the Account Control API or Wasabi Account Control Manager and you create an account, you're creating a brand new Wasabi account which is attached to a parent account. And the parent account gets a bucket of data, but now the end user account or your end customer account, it was like they went to wasabi.com and signed up on their own, except their billing is attached to your main account. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go ahead and go to the next page. So we can go So this is an example of the Wasabi Account Control Manager. It's a simple web interface that leverages the Account Control API, and it allows you to create sub-accounts for each one of your end customers. And this is an example of creating a sub-account, right? We have a few different options on here. For the most part, all you do is type in your name, the customer's email. You can also use your own internal email if you just want to give a name to a customer without worrying about an email address. You can either give them access to the console, or you can maintain control of that account for yourself and just create API keys for the customer. It also gives you the ability to give trial accounts out to your end customers. So in this example, there's a 1 terabyte trial account being created for 30 days. And any trial accounts that are created underneath the Account Control Manager or using the Account Control API do not count towards your total storage utilization. So this gives you an easy way for your end customers to test out Wasabi or test out your own white labeled storage service without having to be billed for it. And this is all web browser based, right? So you don't have to download any applications or go anywhere. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on the computer. You can access it from anywhere. Next page. Yeah, so the Wasabi Account Control Manager works in tiers, right? So you're going to be an MSP with a control account. And underneath that control account, it will have all of your customers' accounts. And each one of those accounts is separate from each other. So if you needed to create an account and give out API keys for one customer, and they load it into their Veeam, for example, they won't be seeing any other buckets from any of your other end accounts. They're truly separate accounts. You can upgrade the trial accounts to paid for accounts after the expiration period. You can also suspend and delete the accounts if forever, if there's ever an instance where they didn't sign up. You can reset the API keys, and it also has invoicing for your customers. So you can keep track of the utilization and storage amount on each customer individually, then export that data into Excel, JSON, or CSV files for reporting. Let's see, next slide.
No questions or anything? Nope, we're good. We've got, recorded demos. We can do live demos with you guys if there's a, particular interest around account management and your options that you have. So we're happy to take some of those offline, or feel free to light up the chat here. So typically this slide has, 6 or 8 different use cases listed on it. I boiled it down to 4. Why? Because this probably makes up about 90% of the use cases that we see in our customers and our partners. A large portion of that being in the backup, recovery, and archiving space. Again, we're talking about offsite, highly secure, highly affordable, highly scalable storage. So it really lends itself well to backup and archiving use cases. CDN, obviously a boatload of data that lives there for our AV or our media and entertainment partners out there. And then video surveillance. I mean, this is booming for us right now. I know we talked a little bit about this yesterday, Dan, but industry regulations and compliance requirements are forcing everyone from schools and universities to police officers to cannabis operations to hold on to their video recordings longer. And what does this mean is it's forcing folks who don't live in IT or don't live in storage to manage more storage, to buy more storage. And there's that whole sprawl effect, and it gets really difficult to manage, but also you start seeing sprawl from a cost standpoint. It gets very expensive. And again, you're having folks that aren't accustomed to managing large storage environments being forced to. So what Wasabi does is we just put a very cost-effective and scalable option out there to sit outside of your on-prem storage. So it's very much a hybrid story for all of these use cases. Looks like there was a
question. And Doug mentioned he never thought about surveillance as a use case, and it I think he's exactly right in that case. I think many MSPs a lot of times you're just thinking about might be like whatever type of solution might be available at the time, maybe with that particular surveillance vendor. But it's you want to keep everything together. You want to have everything in a streamlined package. You also want it to be affordable. And the security aspect of it is critical as well. Because again, ransomware, is the number one headache that we see out there. And, and ensuring that the client not only is compliant, but that they're protected in the long term, regardless of any kind of security threats, is rock solid. Yes, this is recorded. We will, within the next 24 hours, you'll get a copy or a link to the recording. Now, Doug had another question a little bit earlier I want to bring back up. So it looks like he has, Doug, you don't have to stop the questions. It's, feel free to ask whatever you have. It's what we're here for. And I'm sure, for your questions are enlightening others that, like you said, surveillance, there's things that we just haven't thought about that come into play. But taking a look at your scenario here, you mentioned that you just picked up a client that had been hit with ransomware. The attacker actually went in and through the local app, deleted the cloud backup. The provider said that they had no backups and couldn't do anything for them. I'm guessing this isn't the situation with Wasabi. And there's probably a lot more detail in there that you guys probably need to ask in order to have a solid understanding of the scenario.
Yeah, let's talk about that offline if that's cool. We can kind of talk through, what we have in place and some best practices that we see out there with our MSPs and customers. I mean, our bread and butter is the backup and archiving plays. Everyone's heard of the 3-2-1 rule: 3 copies of your backups, 2 different storage media, one of which is offsite. You can add another one to that list, and it's got to be either air gapped or in an immutable, locked environment, which Wasabi satisfies. So yeah, between these 4 use cases here, petabytes upon petabytes and petabytes and petabytes of data that we see every day from our MSPs, and it's only growing.
Very cool.
Poll 2.
Poll number 2. So we got our second poll question here. The question is, if you are providing cloud, or if you're providing storage, is it on-prem / hardware or cloud? And I've got a few different options here, whether it's on-prem, cloud / Wasabi competitor, I use Wasabi, or not applicable. So let's take a look and see what we got coming in here. We'll give a few more moments. I gotta say, we must be the the best panel around. I mean, because look at the synergy of these of the swag we all got on.
I know. I don't want to toot our own horn, but I think we're a pretty good looking, trio. We'll call it the holy
triumvirate. Especially with my my bald head, shining light on everybody there. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and end the poll here and take a look at the results. And let's go ahead and share those.
Wow, pretty well balanced.
Yeah,
that's great. I love the 3 Wasabi users out there. Thank you. The on-prem, I would just encourage everyone to think about, what does hybrid represent to you? Could it be cost savings? Could it be more flexibility? Could it be, again, another revenue stream or another offering that you bake into your portfolio? A lot of times when we're first getting involved with MSPs, it's their first, step into the cloud realm, and they've been doing a lot of that on-prem stuff. So cool. Thanks for the engagement, everybody.
And Doug said we should pump the brakes on the good-looking guys comments. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he's, I'm sure you will be on the panel. When people start talking about, the great-looking panel, then you're going to be, right there when you're on the panel. Alan told us that the 2 of you, so Chris and Dean, you guys need to shave your heads for real synergy. And I mean, I just gonna have to say I couldn't agree more with Alan right now. So So maybe the next time we're on here, there'll be all three of us completely shiny and just shedding light off of it. So
We might have to shave our heads in real time, maybe for charity, something, I don't know, but
yeah,
we're getting creative.
there you go.
All right, let's motor along. We're making our way pretty well through the deck. We got 9 minutes. I think we should be good. Just
Yeah.
going to spend 5 seconds on this one. I think it's important to note that customers of all shapes and sizes, verticals, focuses, needs leverage Wasabi today. You'll see everything from media and entertainment to scientific research and healthcare firms, public sector, very popular, leverage Wasabi today. Reality is everyone's got, growing storage needs. We all see the stats out there in every, webinar and every Gartner publication, 451 Forrester, storage is, doubling every 12 months or something like that. So the fact that we are, S3 compatible, incredibly scalable, incredibly cost effective makes us appealing to, just about every customer out there. All right, I'm going to breeze through a couple of slides here because I want to focus on the important ones, but this is all about our partner program. These are our principles that our partner program is built on. Easy to sell, easy to make good margins, profitable, easy to market. So we don't just sign you up and walk away. We co-sell with you, we co-market with you. We'll cover that. And it's incredibly easy to get started. It's literally clicks. Why is our partner program different? You don't have to go to Cloud University. If you look at our prime competitor, they make you go through, honestly, quarters and years worth of training. You got to get all kinds of certifications. You got to pass some really demanding tests to become part of the partner program. And so that obviously takes years. You got to have a certain amount of storage built up with those guys. You got to have published case studies with those guys. We don't require any of that. We don't want to put that tax or toll on our partners. Thus, you get an incredibly rapid time to revenue, which is important. You guys are in business for a reason, and that's driving, bringing your customers great technology and great solutions, but also making it profitable for yourselves. You're not going to sell something that doesn't make you money. You're not going to sell something that costs you money. Again, we fuel all our partnerships with marketing and a really robust portfolio of resources. We'll cover some of that in the next few slides. And it's high margins from the first dollar. So whether you're a one-man shop or a 500-person shop, you have access to the same discounts and resources, which is important. Our partner portal, it's awesome. I encourage everyone to sign up with Wasabi. Again, we're going to give the first 5 some free swag. This partner portal is available to anyone as soon as you complete our click-through agreement. It's got self-paced training, which has a sales certification tied to it. It's like a 30-minute, 20-minute investment of your time, so very easy. We've got campaigns in a box, all kinds of sales resources and tools. We'll cover that in the next slide. Deal registration lives here, and all the marketing resources that we make available live here as well, one central location. Campaign in a box is super cool. Our marketing team, I think, is better than anyone in the industry. So this is a repository of email templates, graphics, social media content, collateral like solution briefs, and all types of publications and articles that you can co-brand. You can add your logo to, you can add your IP to, and advertise and promote with your customers. And it starts at the launch. It gets you set up to launch the service. And how do I market that? How do I go and recruit new customers? We have a bunch of co-brandable stuff that also includes the likes of our vast ecosystem of alliance partners. So if you're in with Veeam, if you're in with MSP 360, you'll have a solution brief that includes Wasabi plus MSP 360 with your logo right next to it. Incredibly easy to get going. Migrate with Nate. I just encourage everyone to go on there and just look up Migrate with Nate on our website. It's really fun, but it's a testament to our DNA as a disruptor in the marketplace. And there's always more coming. We love your feedback too. If you'd like to see different things, we'll absolutely incorporate that in there. Talked about the sales certification, minimal investment of time. awesome to go out and promote this with your customers. Not only do I make cloud storage powered by Wasabi available for you, but I'm certified. It's a nice feather in the cap. In our next poll, we got, let's see, 4 minutes. We're doing pretty good.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and we'll launch our next poll question here. And the last poll question we have is, what do you think about Wasabi's Pardo? So I just combined partner program or Pardo port. I'm just going to stop.
There we go. It's not even Friday, Dan.
I know. What do you think about Wasabi's partner portal / marketing
resource?
There we go.
Cut off there.
And so we got that out there, and give it another second here for some of the answers to come in. Yeah, it is. It feels like a Friday to me. You know, just based on my stumbling of the words there. So, okay, we'll go ahead and end this poll here. Share the results.
Look at that. Oops.
Wow. Awesome. So we got 100% respondees indicating they saying awesome, can't wait to use it. And it is really brilliant. I mean, we've talked about this before, and in fact, you guys, we talked about this yesterday. You know, when we're looking for a new vendor, anytime we bring on a new product, new service, you know, it's one thing to sign up, but you've got to launch it. You got to kick it off. And it takes time and money and energy and to be able to put together marketing materials and launch materials. And, you know, when a vendor like Wasabi, you know, invests into their partners by putting this together, making it more of a done for you type of a model, that's rock solid, because that means we can kick it off on day one and start getting out there, marketing it, selling it. Because nothing's worse than, you know, signing up with a new vendor and then you're like, all right, so we got to start creating stuff. We got to start putting materials together. And then you start looking at everything else that's on your plate. And then what happens is that new partnership kind of sits there for a little bit, and you know, nothing really happens, you know, in the time frame that you want. So this, what Wasabi has put together here is great, and we greatly appreciate that in our in the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the product to do it. We've got the resources, the portal to help with that, but we also have the people. Let's not forget about the account managers that join you on this journey. They're there for the launch. They're there for the evaluation, the launch, the customer onboarding, the acceleration with marketing. It really is a very hands-on and involved process with us. We touched on this, but again, in closing, we've got 2 methodologies for you to consume and sell Wasabi. Typically, our MSPs will find one that fits best for their model. Pay as you go and reserve capacity storage. You all have a copy of this deck, or I can make one available to anyone. I know I'm breezing through it. This reinforces a lot of the aspects of both options. This is the journey here. It starts with an inquiry form. If you are a PAX 8 user or a Climb user, reach out to those resources to start, and they'll put you on this journey. But it's as simple as a partner application. You know, you sign up with the click-through agreement. You access our partner portal right away. You have white label access to it. Everyone in your company with your URL will have access to it. Convert that trial account to paid, and you're on your way. We'll be there to help you set up your customer accounts, help you create your offer if you need support. We're there to train your people, help to put together the marketing program. We're there when you're closing your first deal and every other deal that comes through. We've been recognized widely for this. You know, we've been doing this for a little while now. We're seeing tremendous success on the MSP ecosystem, and this is kind of a testament to that. So, you know, in closing, I really, really, really look forward to working with everyone that's on the line and anyone that gets a copy of this recording. Feel free to reach out to me, my team, partners@wasabi.com anytime. Again, we're going to make free sandbox accounts available to all of you guys. Just go to wasabi.com/sign up. Let Chris and I know when you do sign up, because if you're one of the first 5, you get some free swag. And honestly, let us know what we can do to better support you and make you successful in selling hot cloud storage.
Love it. Guys, you did a phenomenal job today of helping us to better understand Wasabi and Wasabi hot cloud storage. And so we greatly appreciate that. We taking a look at our most interactive. We went through, and the first person to win is Doug. So Doug, congratulations. And then the second person we have is Timothy. So congratulations to Timothy as well. So we will get Dean the contact information for you two gentlemen, and Dean will get the information out for you to go to the Wasabi swag store and pick some swag out. So that's awesome. And again, keep in mind, the first 5 that sign up, you'll have an opportunity to get some swag as well. And just go ahead and follow as they listed there for that free sandbox account. Is there any parting words? Let me just double check, make sure we don't have any additional questions. All right, so Alan, I think we covered that one. I just want to make sure that he heard that one. So wanting to know if, oh, you did answer that one. Okay, sorry, Chris. Chris, you are on the ball. You had that already answered. Nice work on that. So yeah, I think we've handled most of the questions here, unless there's anything that I'm missing. But I think we're rock solid there. Any parting words, Chris or Dean?
No, thank you for the time. Again, I can't stress enough that we want to join you on this journey, whether you're kicking the tires or you're taking down a big deal. We're here to support you. Chris, anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. If there are any further questions, I know some people have been messaging in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to help.
That's awesome. And for all of our attendees and those that will be watching this later on, thank you very much for attending today's event with Wasabi. Both Dean and Chris, we greatly appreciate your time and your knowledge about Wasabi and the hot cloud storage today. So thank you very much. With that being said, everybody have an awesome rest of your day. We will see you tomorrow if you join our call tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Other than that, peace out, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.